Welcome to the Homeownership Podcast presented by Momentum Realty, located in Hanover, Massachusetts. This series covers all things real estate and the best practices for buying, selling, and owning properties. Now here's your host, Sean Maloney.
I'm your host, Sean Patrick Maloney. Thanks for joining me this week. This week I want to talk to you about selling and buying a home at the same time. A lot of people wonder, how do you do this? How could I buy a house when I have a house to sell? How am I possibly going to make it to the other side? What if I get stuck with the house I have and buy a house by accident? What if the opposite end happens? I sell my house and I have nowhere to go. I don't even have a place to buy. Today we're going to break it all down right here. I'm going to let you know how to deal with it. I'm going to give you different options for all different scenarios that could work out. Because remember, ultimately we need a place to live and not everyone has the opportunity that other people do. First off, think about it. You have to think about your options. Some different options you have would be sell, rent, buy. This scenario works for some people. Maybe you want to give yourself the opportunity to find the perfect one. Maybe your budget allows to have two places at once. This is the perfect sell, rent, buy scenario. When you have the budget to afford it, you can sign on a 6-month or a 12-month lease, and you can say to yourself, okay, I'm going to sell my home, capture that value, and then I'm going to take my time shopping. And when I get the new home, I'm going to have plenty of time to do any renovation work, any changes and alterations, and I'm not going to have much stress because I have the two places for a year. When you do this, maybe even go fun. Maybe you rent something in a place you normally wouldn't live, down by the ocean or on a lake or something like that. Or maybe you go simple. You say, you know what, I can live very simply and I can save some money across this year while I buy the new home. I know this is not an option for everybody, and it does create the need to move quite a few times, so it may not be the one for you. Another option some people have: sell, go back living with friends or family, and then buy. This one here, it works for some people. It may be a stressful scenario though. Coming back and living with mom and dad can be difficult, especially in the adult years. If you have children, things like that. There's also a lot of moving parts, and usually if you're moving in with someone, they already have stuff, so you have to put your stuff in storage. This may be an option. It's one of the cheaper options usually, because typically friends and family aren't going to charge you as much rent as renting a place. These two options may seem like, geez, I don't like the way this episode's starting. I wanted to sell and buy the home at the same time. Well, let's talk about those options. When selling and buying a home, you have options from renting between to having them sell at the same time. Now let's talk about the suitable housing clause. A suitable housing clause means you accept an offer before finding your next home. This clause tells the buyer you have to find a home to sell them your home. This means, okay, I put my home on the market. A buyer comes in and says, I'd like to buy your home. The suitable housing clause says, yes, you can buy my home, but in order for you to buy my home, I have to find a home to buy myself. This is a great way to capitalize off of a seller's marketplace. These work great in a seller's market because people want your home. They're willing to listen to your timelines. Just remember, when doing a suitable housing clause, you want to make sure to give yourself plenty of time. There's nothing worse than realizing my suitable housing clause is running out. The market's not where it was. If this person leaves, I don't have any other buyers, and I'm back to the drawing board. Now, timeline-wise, what would I say to give yourself? You have to look at the market at that time. Because right now, it's kind of crazy out there. It's been difficult to get your offer accepted. I would give yourself at least 90 plus days to getting an offer accepted. Make sure when you're writing up the suitable housing clause that you're putting it to when you're getting the offer accepted and not to the closing date. It's okay to also lock in the closing date, but you want to give yourself at least 30 to 45 days from the date that you see yourself getting an accepted offer, so that way there you have plenty of time. And also remember, when you're using a suitable housing clause, you really want to be out there actively looking. This is a time where engaging a buyer's agent in an exclusive buyer agency agreement can be a really good idea, because this gives them the freedom to shop for both on the market and off the market properties, to knock on everything from FSBOs to canceled, expireds, new construction, stuff that isn't on the market but you've described, finding things through public record, digging high and low to find you the perfect one. Our agents over here at Momentum Realty would love to help you and mentor you on this process. It's really, really important, almost crucial, I'd say, to hire the right agent when you're going to be doing a sell-buy scenario. One of my agents just closed one the other day. Totally seamless and smooth. The people had a great experience, got out of their home they were in, got into a new home, same day closing. They went to the closing of their home, sold it, took the proceeds, went to the next closing and bought the home. Everybody was happy. Everything went smooth. Now let's talk about the other side of the equation. A home sale contingency clause can help you buy a home before selling. This clause tells the seller that in order to buy their home, you must first sell your home. This one here is very common. The thing is, it's a little bit tough in a seller's market compared to the suitable housing clause, because in the suitable housing clause, you're telling the buyer what you're going to do. In the home sale contingency, you're asking the seller for permission to what you're going to be doing. And when they're in the power seat, this can be troublesome because they ultimately do not want you to stick them and not be able to sell, and then them end up being in a place where they are stuck with a buyer who didn't sell in time and then flunks out on them. And when they have people that offer offers without the home sale contingency, it can make them feel like, okay, well, I could just sell it to this person who's ready to go, or I can roll the dice with this other person who is a very good buyer, maybe even cash because they're selling their home, or maybe a higher net down because they're selling their home, but the risk is real. A home sale contingency, if you're going to be doing one, has different levels to it too. So you could have a home sale contingency where it says, the moment you accept my offer, I'm going to start getting my property ready to market it and sell it. That's the weakest of all of them. Next up would be, I'm ready to put my home on the market the moment you accept my offer. I've already had photography done. We're already staged. We was just waiting for an accepted offer to buy your home. That's the next weakest. The one up from there would be, I have a home to sell, but we already have an accepted offer and our closing date is this. This is one level above that because now you've actually marketed your home, you've sold your home on paper, you have an accepted offer, but you don't yet have gone through home inspection or the purchase and sale agreement, appraisal, lots of other things like that. Then the next level up from there is to say, I have a home sale contingency with a signed purchase and sale agreement. This is going to be the next level up of protection. That's going to tell that home seller that not only have you put your home on the market, got an accepted offer, but you've gone through home inspection, you signed a P&S, and you're really just waiting to close. You have appraisal and a few other things out there, but you're a lot further along than the last one. Then the next step up would be, I have already done appraisal. We are just looking to find a home to buy, and when we do, we're going to be set free of all this, and we're going to be able to close this deal. That's going to be your next level up and the most powerful home sale contingency clause, because it's saying that not only do we have an accepted offer, not only do we have an accepted inspection, we've gone through purchase and sale agreement, the home's even been appraised. I am just looking for a house to land my body in, and the dates are just going to co-align that I'm going to sell my house, take the proceeds from my house, and I'm going to buy your house. Well, so far, I'm sure all your heads are spinning. There are so many different options to selling and buying at the same time. After listening to this podcast, I hope you realize that hiring a professional that understands the home sale contingency, the suitable housing clause, the rent buy scenario, the live in a family member scenario, through and through is going to help you make it a success. Because remember, as it could be high stress, it also could be highly rewarding. And working with one of our Move mentors is how you can ensure to yourself that you get this process right, that you get the most money for your home, that you always have a home, and that you're never left out on the street in the idea of by accident having sold your home and not have a home to go into. I know it's not always easy out there, folks, and I know it can be a little bit stressful, but work with us and we can help you find success in buying and selling a home at the same time. Thank you so much for listening this week. If you haven't yet done so, make sure to subscribe to the podcast. Also tell your friends and family about it. Check out our newsletter, our blog, as well as our Facebook group, where we put lots of free information about buying and selling a home. I look forward to talking to you next week.